So, interesting article here on the F1Chronicle.com, guys. Now, I've already kind of hypothesized and predicted who will be lining up for Cadillac racing in Formula 1 in 2026. So, check out my suggestions in that video. But there are a couple of IndyCar drivers in there that I thought are in with a shot of making their Formula 1 debut with the team in a couple of years' time. But apparently, according to some, the stars of IndyCar are not good enough for Cadillac. That's a provocative statement if I've ever heard one, but let's have a look at what's been said here, guys. Full article on F1Chronicle.com as always. Ralf Schumacher doubts an IndyCar driver is good enough to fulfill one of Cadillac's Formula 1 seats in 2026. Team advisor and Formula 1 legend Mario Andretti revealed this week that Colton Herta, who already drives for Mario's son's Michael Andretti's team in IndyCar, is the running for a Cadillac F1 seat. From our standpoint, I think the play at the beginning would be have to be one experienced driver. Nationality doesn't matter. And then a young American talent, the 1978 world champion, told NBC News earlier this week. Ralf Schumacher, uncle of the seat-hunting former F1 driver Mick Schumacher, agrees that it is at least making sense for Cadillac to prefer to field American drivers. On the other hand, he told Sky Deutschland that IndyCar level is not the same as Formula 1 level. We've seen that on numerous occasions when they test. But maybe there is some super talent lurking over there that no one has found yet, the former F1 driver added. Not surprisingly, he thinks that Mick Schumacher would be a safe pick for Cadillac. I mean, you gotta help out your own. It's not what you know, it's who you know. I assume that they will get proven element in the car to get them a starting point, Ralf said. They're starting from scratch with everything, and that is extremely difficult. That's why in this case you have to have someone who you know can do it and who you can rely on. Apart from the driver question, Schumacher does expect Cadillac to eventually succeed in F1. It will of course take some time before GM comes on board as an engine manufacturer, although it's a huge corporation and whatever they tackle will be worth it in the end, said the German. All of this is important in F1 because it sends a strong signal when such a global player wants to get into the premier class of racing. Formula 1 is continuing to grow. I'm looking forward to there being 11 teams because that means 2 more places for young drivers. We know how difficult it is at the moment with 20 cars. In 2026 we will have 10% more seats available. Maths. Yeah. Right, I mean, I don't know about this. I mean, there is definitely an argument to say that IndyCar drivers aren't up to the standard of Formula 1. I don't know about that. I mean, when was the last time that a driver went from IndyCar into Formula 1 and did really well? I mean, you're talking a long time ago, back in the kart days. You know, Juan Pablo Montoya, Jacques Villeneuve, they both came from IndyCar and did very well in Formula 1. You know, Villeneuve being a champion and obviously Montoya getting close to being a champion as well. But in more recent times, who was the last one? Who was the last one to do that? Although, on the counter-argument side of things, there have been quite a few Formula 1 drivers to go over to IndyCar and they haven't particularly done amazingly either. I mean, Grosjean, he has some success, you know, but he's not exactly gone there and dominated. You know, Rubens Barrichello back in the day, he did all right. But, you know, there haven't been any champions going from F1 to IndyCar in a very long time. I mean, who was the last? Was it Nigel Mansell? Back in the 90s, is he the last one to do that? I mean, he won the championship in IndyCar, obviously, but you're talking 30 years ago now, over 30 years, in fact. So there is a big difference between the series. Although that kind of difference is getting narrower, I would say, because IndyCar is moving more towards road courses, as they call them, circuits, towards an F1. There's less ovals on the calendar than there ever has been in IndyCar now. So there is that. I would like to see it. I would like to see, and I said it in my video as well, I would like to see what Colton Herta could do. I would like to see what Alex Palou could do. I would like to see what Pato O'Ward could do in Formula 1. I think they all have a reasonable shout to at least give it a go, and then we know. And even then, it's not a direct comparison because some drivers might adapt better to Formula 1 than others. So there's a lot of different things at play here, but I think to discount IndyCar drivers so flagrantly, is that the word, flagrantly? I don't know. So easily is a bit short-sighted, I'd say. I'd be a bit more open to an IndyCar driver coming to F1, and if they don't succeed, they don't succeed. But then we know. What do you guys think? Who would you like to see from IndyCar given a chance in Formula 1 with Cadillac Racing? Let us know in the comments below. And of course, keep it subscribed to the F1Chronicle.com to see much more content on the world of Formula 1 just like this. Have a good one, guys.